Okay, now this here is a piece. Excuse me. This is a piece where I am going to I'm going to go into the minds of Americans, Black Americans. European Americans is welcome as well. Actually, American people's mind. Period. That's what we go. We're gonna go in with the people's mind. Where this is the piece I'm going with the people's mind. Um, I'm writing here for notes. People's mind. I'm sorry. Okay, people's minds. This is the story. Look, y'all. This is what the reefer told me to tell y'all. It's just how this shit goes. Now, I found out that there are black people in this country that are well educated with stability of their nationality. And there are African Americans, which I consider to be people that come from Africa and become citizens here in America. So I don't really call black people African American. In fact, I don't agree with, nor do I acknowledge it in that formality, because you can ask an African, and if he is denounced or he has got dual citizenship, he is an African, and he realizes that he's an African American. Now, what the reefer told me was how we can fix a problem as a people, a race of people, with the help of other races that has somewhat is part responsible for black Americans being here. Yeah, it's deep. It's possible, but that's just how this shit went when I was smoking some liquid chromium reefer. Now, this is what the reefer told me. The liquid chromium reefer told me that if the black Americans and the African Americans were to get together, but they have to have the most important ingredient to make this meeting and this organization come off and be at the effect of some Gorilla Joe shit, and that is they have to have a diplomat heroic nigga, which is me. That's what the reefer told me. I'm telling you what the reefer had told me in my mind. And the heroic nigga is sort of like the president of the House floor, not the president of the United States. We ain't really too happy on some of the things that he is allowing to happen to himself. We're not worried about what he can't get done. We're just a little upset on what he's allowing to be done to him. Yeah, the invisible penis going in and out of his ass on national television. He seemed to not have a real care about it going in and out while he's speaking. But nevertheless, it's a different story. Now, with this heroic nigga, which is me, that is sitting in the middle and is taking the floor and answering questions, then why they're being brought here, the Africans, why are we being brought here amidst the black Americans? We do not get along. What is this for? That's why there's the heroic nigga. He keeps everything balanced and he has his mallet. Be quiet, sir. Sort of like Judge Mathis, yeah. Now, what this thing is going to consist of is that the speaker, which is the heroic nigga too, he speaks, he does everything. He lays down the groundwork for the African Americans and the black folks to hear the ideal and be able to put all differences aside. Yeah, African people can say, well, okay, and black Americans say, well, we didn't leave y'all intentionally. We was just brought here, so that's why we stayed. And we didn't ignore y'all. We just got caught up in our own shit. And all that can be put up underneath the fucking rug. Yeah, because I'm tired of hearing that shit. But as a heroic nigga, I can't voice that the way I really and truly want to, because I have to be sort of like bipartisan, if you will. Yeah, I don't like the word either, but I have to in this case because we're dealing with Africans and we're dealing with black Americans. It's a very, very diverse melting pot ready to be roughed at any given fucking time. Trust me, it can and it will if it's not handled properly. So now what I have to do is implement on how the black Americans can help the Africans understand that we all together can fix this motherfucking hunger problem in the motherland continent where we all are originally from. All nationalities. Yeah, now get them quiet. Everybody's going to be quiet. Would you go ahead and say quiet? Now, here is the proposal that has been brought to me by my Congress. Now, my Congress, which is the heroic nigga community around this country, not just in Ohio where it's based and founded at through me. I spoke to people in L.A., Detroit, Amsterdam. There's niggas in Amsterdam. And I spoke to people in Seattle, Washington, too. Yeah, and Boston. There's a lot of niggas in Boston. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Connecticut, too. My God. Beautiful black women there. But anyway, we have came to the conclusion, and they had brought it to me, and I brought it to them, and I said, okay, and I'll bring it to the House of Africans and Blacks. Yeah. Now, what we can do as black Americans, because we are financially in a situation where we can actually take some of the money and do good with our own people, where we say that we claim every year, we get up and we claim to be proud of being the African American descendant. Oh, I love my roots of my history, my ancestors, on how they fought to get here and get the rights. And we do all that old silly ass contradicting bullshit, but we don't do nothing throughout the rest of the fucking year. We just wait until February to do that. Now the Africans, they all applaud. They're up. I mean, I'm like, damn. I wasn't trying to start a debate, but I had to keep it real with my own people. Yeah, well, yeah, my own people, if you will. And I get everything back in order, and I got to do the Judge Mathis again. I don't like really doing it, but I have to do that. Be quiet, people. Sit down. That's just how that is. No disrespect to Judge Mathis. I love him, respect him, and he's from Detroit. Hell of a dude. Yeah, he went to jail. That's what he said. Now, this ideal that has been implemented and brewing inside of me, along with the heroic nigga community, is that if the black man here in America utilizes the donation process and understands the exemption, the brackets that he is allowed to get, and stop donating his money to churches, just for a moment. Now, the black folks was getting a little restless. What's this nigga talking about? I'm going to keep giving my money to the church. Jesus Christ, what is this nigga talking about? So I had to kind of balance them down. So I'm kind of like in the middle of a Republican-Democrat ceremony that I can't really control, but I know how to control this shit. I'm not going to just let these motherfuckers just get the fuck out of hand, and I'm not saying anything. I'm the motherfucking boss. I am the president, the speaker of the African and Black House. Yeah, it's just the title that I have, y'all. Now, when the blacks here in this country learn the process of donating their money and being able to receive benefit from an IRS tax system or Congress, and that are approved by laws through the state's legislature that they reside in, they have to be able to understand if you're making $40,000 or $26,000 a year, and you're paying $9,000 if you're making somewhere between 26, you're gonna be looking at somewhere maybe $9,000 in taxes. But guess what? You get to write off your children, and you get to write off your home, and if you get in a school district, you get taxed, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. But it doesn't help the problem that we're having in our community and with our fucking people. And that is the people that are in Africa that is starving, because for some reason our country has a tendency to show a lot of people with faces like mine, 12 times smaller than me, and they're asking us to make donations so we can feed them at 60 cents a day or whatever the case may be. And that's cool. That's heroic shit for people to do. But we're not seeing the results that we would like to see, because we're not really involved. So we say, okay, we donate and we feel good about ourselves. That's what black people do, y'all. That's just what happened. And the Africans, they got up again. They was applauding. Yeah, that's what. And they started waving banners and shit. And I had to pull out the damn Judge Mathis mallet. Be quiet, people. And they did. I had control. Yeah, you got to. When you're the speaker and the president of the floor of the African and Black community congregation, you got to be able to put your thing down, and there don't be no questions asked. Yeah, I got security too. I got some heroic niggas right in the back ready to do their job if needed. But so far, everything's peaceful. People are just letting off their feelings about what it is that we are trying to bring between these two types of people. Yeah. Now, Black America, what we need to understand is that the tax system here in this country can be eluded legally according to their writings and rules and regulations. And how do you go about doing it is understanding the donation tax exempt law. Now, if you're making a certain amount of money per year, instead of donating your money to church and not getting an exempt from that because you feel that, oh, Jesus is going to bless me in the end of the years or whatever the case may be, I don't fucking think so. Jesus don't care nothing about you having a Bentley because you put $3 in the plate on Sunday. That's just how that is. And the Africans, they were just in an uproar. I mean, they was just proud of what I was saying, and I had to get them. And I went to go grab my mallet, and they sat down because they knew what I was going to do. And I appreciated and I respected them for that, and I gave them thumbs up. Now, the black folks is looking at me a little pissed off. They looking at me like I'm selling them out because they're not being able to get up to applaud on some of the bullshit that they do. But it's not about me picking on any particular side of this Congress that I have orchestrated in my mind. Yeah, on liquid chromium reefer, y'all. Gotta work with me. Excuse me. Now, if we as black Americans or black people, whichever one it is you want to call yourself, can understand if you were to donate $5,000 to an organization over a period of time, over a 12-month period of time, and it is a recognized donation organization by our government that can say that you did do this and you are entitled to this form of it exempt, that will enable the African people to actually have reason to stay the fuck home. Yeah, because see, a lot of them coming over here because see, a lot of these motherfuckers look familiar. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, y'all. I'm keeping it real. I can't just abandon the black people. I'm a black American, but I'm considered as a heroic nigga. But it's all true when you hear it all in the end. We just can't just ignore the fact that half these motherfucking kids that we seeing on TV that are starving or whatever the case may be. Have you ever noticed when the motherfucker cuts you off on the highway and he looks back at you like you don't belong here, like you're in the wrong? Kind of dawn in the back of your mind like that motherfucker looks familiar. That boy in 1992 that was sitting there with the bowl with no, that wasn't him. Oh, that was the motherfucker that was standing next to a George Foreman grill waiting for something to get on there. Yeah, that's that motherfucker. Yeah, so we ain't really for sure African people, but it's not to make the African people look bad. Now the black Americans is up in the uproar like, yeah, that's right, goddamn. So let these motherfuckers know we tired of this shit. The whole point of this story is if we can put all that dumb shit to the side and realize if the oil companies can donate millions of dollars in the hood, the projects, the ghetto, and give millions to college universities, and they are able to get exempt at the fullest, we as a race of people have to take responsibility here in America to look at our motherland that we get up every year, mainly at the Martin Luther King dinner, and just boast and brag on how proud we are to be African descendants, but at the same time we can't get along with them when they come here. And if you look at it in the reverse manner, from the commercials that we've seen from the children since we was kids that were starving, you can't blame these motherfuckers for coming over here and doing better than what the motherfuckers that are actually descendants from, which is us. And we ain't really doing a whole lot with what we have because we don't believe that we have enough to do the things that we are being glamorized on television to do. That's bullshit, y'all. What we need to do is we need to get with the United Nations. I will speak on behalf of the black American as a heroic nigga. I will. All you got to do is just vote me in, and they'll send me over there too. Plain right to be free. And I can explain to the United Nations that we need to be accepted as an organization that is trying to help facilitate the ending of hunger and diseases and famines in a country where we are fucking descendants the fuck from. Yeah, have you ever noticed? Everybody's got a fucking car. The Germans got a car. The Russians got a car. The English has got a car. Hell, Americans got a car. African is the richest continent in the world, and it doesn't have a fucking car. You got to be out your goddamn mind. But it takes heroic niggas to be able to implement this in the black man's mind here in this country so he can realize, damn, I'm going to college for an engineer. I should take this knowledge and go to Africa and get with people with minds that's as brilliant as minds, and we can form and make a car our goddamn selves and make it a fucking import, yeah, and sell it for $60,000-$70,000, and they gonna buy it for some fact that when you take brilliant minds, they can create anything. It doesn't matter what fucking color they are. And so That's what happened when I had smoked some liquid chromium reefer. This was a story that the reefer told me that I needed to tell black people and African people what needs to be done. If we learn that tax system, we can donate our own money on our own reconnaissance to our own country where we are descendants to fuck from, and we can put an end to these fucked up ass commercials and shit. Putting motherfuckers on there looking like Manute Bow and they 3 years old. Man, you know how fucked up that is to see a grown ass man in a little boy's body because he ain't ate before 5 days, and that's sad and it ain't funny, but at the same time, if we black people here in America and heroic niggas take heed of this along with the African people and put all fucking differences aside, your heroic niggas has got beef with black folks too, because y'all have a tendency to tell your children whatever it is you do, don't fuck with those niggas over there on that corner. And I happen to have been one of those niggas. Why? Because I lived in the hood and I didn't have the status the way that the children that was being told by their parents did. That's just how that shit went. My mom was alcoholic and my dad was an asshole. Wasn't our fault. We ended up in the hood, the projects. We didn't have a car until I got 19. And we was in the hood for 13 years. So do the math. But again, if we put our differences aside, I can guarantee you we can fix not only the hunger and the famine in our motherland, and it's not going to take 50 years, as long as we do it together as a unity and let the world watch how we have came together, the Africans and the blacks that came together. Now you can say that they're African Americans, because when the blacks and the Africans get together and do away with all the tyranny that's been said about this and said about that, then we can actually agree we are African Americans now, because we have blended into one under the banner of a heroic nigga that smokes some liquid fucking chromium reefer. Yeah, I'm Maxine Alexander, and that's just another bizarre piece that took place in my mind, and this is one of my notes, and I don't know if I can share this with everyone, but I'm going to try to upload this shit to YouTube. Yeah, peace.